Here's to the one that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but your life doesn't change me. Like memories that toast to the ones that we made. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause it change me like memories. Memories, bring back home. There's a film that I've been down. And I feel like I'm okay. Will I be ever? But you stay the same. You're my heart, you're my sorry. My days on the phone, I'm all everybody loves someone, everybody loves something. Everything will be alright, only the past will say. To the one that we love, to the wish you were here, to the love of the dreams we had, to the memories of all we can.
All right. I'm gonna play a little something for you that I just got from Nola, my granddaughter. Hi, Danny. Guess I'll look at myself. Good morning, all. I just got this from my granddaughter. I asked her to do a little video for me, and she's done a little video. I mean, it's really sweet. Let me see if I can. I've got it on Facebook, and I can't get it moved over to anywhere. I'm really kind of frustrated about it, but it's real sweet. Let me just play this for you a second. Here we go. Check it out.
Father Fish, now please enjoy the video.
We gotta go back. Oh dear. It didn't auto-play. I thought it would.
You are watching Father Fish, now please enjoy the video.
This is so frustrating. I can't figure out what I'm doing here. I've been having a lot of trouble. She sent this to me on my phone, and I can't get it over to my computer. So I've asked her to send it to my email. I can send it to my email, but it won't upload. So I'm just kind of frustrated with the whole thing. Let's get the volume open on this. Replay. All right, here we go. One more time. Enlarge.
You are watching Father Fish, now please enjoy the video.
Well, there you go. You have it. All right, we'll try to do a better job of getting this. And I've asked her to do some more stuff for me. She's a very creative young lady. She that involved a fair amount of editing, more than I'm capable of. There were at least 5 clips in that 2 seconds or so. It's rather short, but showed a lot of sophistication that I'm not capable of. So anyway, there you have it. JBVM, hello. Denny's Aquatics, Mermaid Chorus. Cole Pat is watching us on Facebook. Unfortunately, Cole, we can't do text back and forth from Facebook. If you want to come join us on YouTube, just go into YouTube to Father Fish, and you'll see the link right at the top. The stream. Oh, Sandy Diamond. Sandy was first one in this morning. Mermaid's Chorus. Rigo. Hey, Rigo. Good morning to you. 3-day Roger Salmon. Hi, Roger. And Arcus. Let's see. Now, what I need to do here is get over. Let's see. Now, what I need to do here. There. All right. I was not going to come on this morning. And I stayed up late last night. Figured, well, I'll just sleep in. I woke up at 8 o'clock and just motivated myself. So here I am, like it or not. You stuck with me for the next hour, I guess. I had an appointment today that got canceled. That was kind of disappointing. Disappointing appointment, right? So I'm a little discombobulated. Let's see. We were talking the other day about Bijou, which is a channel, ostensibly a FishTube channel that has 160,000 subscribers. It's been online for just under 4 years, or about 4 years. It has no profile, no contacts, 30 videos total. The first one of which, done 4 years ago, is the best one of all of them, which I find interesting. I would say that the creator is technically very talented, technologically very talented, does real high quality video work. The content is, on a rank of 0 to 10, a 3 to 4 tops. And in most cases, most of the videos, content-wise, are between a 1 and a 2. In other words, they really aren't teaching us anything. They're just pleasant, and they are pleasant because the videography is very pleasant. So there you have it. No content, high-tech approach to videos, very few videos, no commentary at all of any kind, no voiceover. It's 100% text. I mean, it just goes on and on. This is a non-person doing videos. It could be a machine doing, could be AI, could easily be AI. No contact of any type, no community notes of any kind, no relationship with anybody else. 160,000 subscribers, and I think the top video was 30. I don't even want to say, was an enormous number, without looking, I can't even believe it. But it was an enormous number. So it kind of leaves, me in a lurch, in a ditch, wondering, what the heck is this? What are we looking at? What's really going on here? And how can this be when it breaks every single rule that YouTube teaches us? So I don't know. I just find it fascinating. Fascinating. Oh, well. The Nano Aquarium guy. Hello, hello. Maybe you need to start short videos of fish. I do shorts. I do a couple a week. I've never gotten over about 100 views on a short. Never have. 200 tops. I don't do as well on shorts as I do on videos. The whole thing leaves me limp. I don't begin to understand any of it. Mainstay Jesse, hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Been out of the loop, and I'm here today and we'll be lurking. Mach 389. Nice to see you, Mach. Diane Atland, hello, good morning. Rigo, people who don't know anything about keeping fish won't view you. Do if you show video of fish species, people might view it and then check you out. Certainly possible. And I understand what you're saying, Rigo, and I think you're right. What I have not done is just cutesy little, following the rams. Who in the world is this? See this? Where'd it go? See that? That is a phony call. Watch it. Hello? Oh, okay, speaking. It's okay. Yeah.
I have a question for you. Do you have any discus juveniles in your store?
No, our store is closed, honey. And I do not have any discus. Now, I do, are you're local, obviously.
Yes, sir. I'm in Charlotte County.
You're in Charlotte County. Yeah, I can get discus. And I do have an online store. In fact, I've got a YouTube channel. Have you seen that?
Oh, yes. I have subscribed to your YouTube channel.
Oh, well, you're on it right now.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay. I mean, I'm doing a live stream and getting the phone, and you're literally talking with about, I don't know, 30 people or so.
Oh, okay.
All right. But anyway, let me look into this and see if I can get some in. I've been wanting to get them in. I'm operating out of my home. But I do have an online store called FishyAquarium.net. And if you want to kind of keep that posted, then get back to me. What's today? Monday? Get back to me next Monday, and I'll see if I can get some in for you. I think I probably can.
Wonderful.
Well, good.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you.
Sir, very
You bet.
much.
Okay.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was strange. The name is what threw me, because I've been getting calls every day from somebody trying to sell me insurance on my car with strange names. And oddly, they're legitimate numbers of people who have no idea how those calls are being made. And it's all very odd. I feel like I'm living in La La Land. Master Aquatics. Eduardo. Well, hello, Eduardo. I've been following some of your videos. You're a lot of fun. I really have enjoyed what you're doing. Delighted to have you here. Master Aquatics just called me Eduardo. Hello, Eduardo. Tam Shepard, good morning. Doing tank maintenance. Oh. Oh, well. It is what it is. Yeah, we're pretty informal around here, and often a little over the edge, I guess I should say. Dirt and Fishy, folks. My Fish Tanks Aquatics, or AQ, Aquatics, Aquarium, AQ, whatever. Hello, Roman is here. Hello, Roman. I know. My fault. I did say no stream last night, and here I am. I explained earlier that I said no stream. I stayed up until 3 o'clock, just poking around. Even ate something that late at night. Got up at 8 o'clock this morning. Couldn't go back to sleep. I probably go fall asleep now. And came in and just started fiddling around and decided, yeah, why not? What the heck? Let's see. Couple of you are new in. I wanted to show you something. My granddaughter sent this to me yesterday as an intro. Let's see if I can get it and we'll play it. This is real sweet.
You are watching Father Fish. Now please enjoy the video. You are watching Father Fish. Now please enjoy the video.
That's sweet. I love it. My problem is I can't figure out how to get it when you put something in Facebook, it's almost impossible to copy it out over to anything else. I got it on my phone, and I managed to get it to Facebook, but from there I'm stuck. So you're seeing it play on Facebook. Oh well. Let's see. They use burn phones. Yeah, they're also using other people's numbers. I called back on two of them two days ago, and they were a real person who had no idea that their number was being used. I don't even know how that's possible, but it's a technical thing, so I guess it can be done. What's odd about it is I tried to reply so I could get somebody to talk to and give my a piece of my mind to, and it dropped off. It just disconnected. So too much weird stuff going on. All right. Eduardo and Jess are carrying on down here. Helping us and destroying us at the same time, Rego. Ain't that the truth? Anyway. So I'm trying to get refocused in this new year. Trying to get some sense of what I can do to attract more people. Up to this point, I've been doing very few videos and just doing a lot of cutting and pasting from older stuff, particularly from live streams, because there's a lot of good content on the 400 live streams I've done over the last year or two. So anyway, I am not plugged in here. My brain just ain't working today. Probably ought to just show videos of fish. You know what I need to do? I need to get an extension on this because it's the wire's too short. Here are the black rams, and they're palling around a lot. I'm assuming it's a male and a female. I can't really tell. I can't see a difference between them. It may not be. They act like it. I mean, they hang together. They're all over the tank. They act like they want to spawn, but nothing ever happens. So I know now. Pretty fish, healthy fish, doing well, looking good. No activity. So I know now. So, what else is going? Somebody say something. I'm running out of juice here. Master Aquatics, first time in your stream. Obviously know about your wisdom. Just first time I caught a live stream. I'm in Florida as well. Oh, neat. Where are you in Florida, Eduardo? Yeah, and I know it's first time I've been here. Happy to see you. I've been following your videos and enjoying them. Stephen P203 Aquardics. Naresh. Hey Naresh. Nice to see you. Stephen P2003 Southwest Lehigh Acres. Oh, not too far from where I am. You're in the Tampa area. I'm in Venice. Just south of Sarasota. Ooh. Talking to Frank yesterday. We're going to set up the van to do some overnighting There are two places I want to go. One is the Crystal River area, and the other is the Everglades. So I think we're going to do the Everglades first and try to get down there in the next week or two if we can get things set up. And it'll be an overnight. I've been working on equipment. I finally got stuff worked out for my GoPro. Now all I got to do is figure out how to use it. But I've got all the equipment now. I came up with a case. I even ordered some new stuff for it. And I got this cute little case here. That's a waterproof case. That's nice and that works. And I got that hooked up, and I got a chest thing harness to be able to attach it to myself. Now all I have to do is figure out how to use it and then how to get video from the camera onto the computer. But all that is coming. That's going to happen. I got into it, began figuring it out, and I found a good tutorial. So I'm going to go over that a dozen times or more and try to get it all worked out. Eduardo says, I know Venice well. Well, we'll have to get together. Oh, just got a bushfish. Rigo says, I love bushfish. What did you get? What kind? Alex has been talking about them lately. He had a video. Was it a video or a live stream? A live stream. Just a couple of days ago. Excuse me, on bushfish. These are really cool little fish. And kind of hard to come by. There's an importer, young man. Well, when I met him, he was a young man. That was 20 years ago. Rehoboth, Rehopeth. He's located currently in Texas, Dallas, I think, and imports. He initially began importing from friends on the Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire, which is the hump in Africa. A lot of really unique fish from there, stuff we don't see commonly. It is where the elephant nose is from, curiously, but a lot of other really interesting things as well, including the bushfish and some that are really fairly rare and uncommon and very unusual. Anyway, really neat fish. I don't have any in stock right now. They've not been available through any of my years for a while. Tam Shepherd, have you seen a pathos start to sprout leaves underwater? You know, it's funny, Tam. I have not. And I have seen videos of people who have done it. I've had pothos. I probably got a picture of it somewhere. In my shop, I had a top row of 15s that was solid with pothos. I mean, to the point where it was sending runners halfway across the shop. It was massive. I did that twice. But I never got a leaf growing in a tank. It was always roots, and roots thick enough that you couldn't even get into the tank very well. In fact, on 2 separate occasions, I had 2 employees that ripped them all out because they thought it was terrible. And I was beside myself because it was magnificent. But that's kind of the nature. They take over, and they literally had taken over those tanks to the point where you couldn't do anything. Certainly couldn't get in there with a net. Let's see. Looks like a leopard about 3 inches. Okay. Yeah, when they get bigger, they'll get about 6 inches. I've got them that big. And they turn brown. They lose the spots. Never are aggressive. It's a rather gentle giant for an aquarium fish. They're slow growing. and just really kind of easygoing. There's not much special to keeping them really. They'll live in hard water or salt water. They're pretty flexible. Food wise, they prefer, like any fish, live food, but they'll kind of take anything. I don't know if they've ever been bred. Mine never showed any interest in spawning. I had about 6 of them that size at one point that someone brought in. And I had them for about 6 months before they finally sold. But nice fish. I hope you enjoy them, Riga. They will get bigger, and they get chunky too. They're kind of a bulky sort of fish. If I've been breeding the black rams, I wish. They haven't done a thing. This is the first pair I've had. Actually, I've gotten some before, but they were not very good. These are not all that impressive. They're not really jet black. They just have a lot of dark coloration in them. But no, I've not been able to get anything to spawn yet. Tam Shepard sent me an email with a picture. Let's see if I can go to my email here in a minute. Could we do? I don't want to do this. Let's do it here. It's fatherfish@fatherfish.net. Is that what we're doing? Let's see. Pothos leaves. Yeah, here we go. Tam Shepard Pothos. Let's see if we can get the picture. I've got it. Sort of. Here we go. Oh, all right. Yeah, it certainly is, isn't it? I think maybe the reason mine didn't is because they blocked out the light in the water, so there was no way for the plant to do photosynthesis in the water. That's obviously growth coming up right there. Looks pretty good. I think that's the key. I think if you got enough light in there, then they are capable of developing leaves. They're never going to be as strong as the leaves above the water because they can take in more air and light above the water than in the water. But that's really interesting. Appreciate that. And get back to the chat here. There we go. Let's see, Roman. Been watching NW Aqua Hobby videos about growing aquarium plants immersed. Thinking of trying this method to have plants or paludariums. Yeah, good idea. Great link. Thanks for posting that link. A lot of the plants, particularly sword plants, a lot of the swords are grown immersed. And the reason is the farmers do that because they grow quicker out of water than in water. What they have is trays that have like a shallow water bed with dirt, like an inch of water in dirt, or if they're potted, the pot in the water. And the leaves are growing out of the water. They're growing up above. Now, the difficulty with this is with a lot of plants, they have an emergent leaf and an aquatic leaf. And so when you put them in the tank, very often they'll die back because the leaves have been taking nutrients taking CO2 out of the air, not out of the water. So they're not adapted to functioning, if you will, in the water. So what happens is those leaves die off and new leaves grow up because the root base is strong, the plant is healthy, and so then it'll create leaves that are able to function in the water. So if you find, after having bought a sword of some sort. There are other types as well. I'm just trying to think. Mostly it's swords because they grow so much better emerged. Just leave them alone; they'll be fine. They're going to drop those leaves and come back with new ones, and they'll flourish. So long as it's a good root system, it'll be fine. Oh, Roman, okay. Wants me to pen the link. I'm so behind everything today. Just not clicking on any more than one or two cylinders. Here we go. Let's pen it. You got the link, Roman. Have you seen Jason's fish room in Australia? Stunning celestial black crabs. No, I haven't. I will check that out. Post the link if you like. Michigan Tropicals is saying his pathos is growing under. There he is. Hey, Roman.
Morning, everybody.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I wanted to show you Othos leaves growing underwater.
How about that?
So you can see them from the angle from down there.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously they're getting enough light. I think that's why I never could, because my plant just covered the water. It didn't allow light to get into the tank.
And there's a big clump of root down there.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually had them, it was a cutting from a friend, and I put the cuttings in just in a jar, and I left it there in the front window for about a year, and the roots just went around and around in a circle because they had nowhere to go.
Oh, that's
and
why.
Then I decided to drop them in this tub, and they're growing quite nicely.
Look at that. Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, they just will absolutely take over. They love growing in water. And once they reach a certain stage, it's like they double every day. It's amazing. They can grow so fast. And of course, there are leaves that get a foot across. And we've got a strain of them down here in Florida. If they grow, as they get older, growing up into trees, the leaves can become immense. I don't know if that's a different species or not. I rather think it's not. Also, there's some new color morphs, white and gold, that are really pretty.
Hold on a second. All right, Father Fish, I'll be off. Thank you.
Thank you, Roman. Nice to see you.
Take care now.
That was a variegated. He had pretty plant, nice plants. Oh, Michigan Tropicals has a video of his pathos on his channel. You post the link, Michigan, if you like. I don't mind people posting links. It's just part of the community process. So please feel free to do that. If you have a wrench, then you're able to post links. So by all means, Vanopsky, hello. Nice to see you. Mermaid's Chorus, I think those plants are lovely. And I'd love to get one. Well, they're certainly common enough. Any garden store is going to have them. They do take a while to get started. It doesn't happen quickly. It can take months. But once they do, then they kind of get supercharged and they'll grow faster and faster. Asaya Llewellyn. Hello. Saying pothos leaves can survive submerged. I've had spider plants hanging above my tanks with plantlets down in the water, and they can thrive as well. That's interesting. What a neat plant. Spider plants are a fun plant to do this with as well. You're very welcome, Michigan. Yeah, just any five and dime will have it. Well, there are no five and dimes anymore. Now they're called dollar stores. We used to call them five and dime. That's funny. Five and dime. And they were actually called that, 5 and 10 cent stores. For a nickel or a dime, you could buy near anything in the shop, which became the dollar store. And now the dollar store is going away. So I don't know what they're going to call it. I guess somebody has heard that. I don't remember. 5 and dime. Dating myself. Oh, well. Oh, Thomas Hines posting a link on the general care pothos plants. So there you go. There's a great link for those of you who want to do pothos. I'm going to get a little coffee here. Excuse me. I made a pot this morning. I haven't had any. Oh, let me see if I can wake up here a little bit. So I'm home all day. Was not planning on that. So I now need to figure out what I'm going to do. And my brain is not turned on yet. Probably this is why. Okay, Sandy Diamond. Dear Father Fish, from Dear Sandy Diamond. I try to cap my gravel substrate with sand. The sand is filtered down, sifted into the gravel. Do you have any suggestions? Absolutely. Add more sand. Just add more sand until, if you want the sand up above it, now it's not critical. If you like the gravel on top, that's fine. The sand will do its job. I don't know how deep this all is. It needs to be 3 inches. So you probably need to add more sand. That's the obvious solution. Now, if you do that and you really like the look of the gravel, you can sprinkle a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of gravel on the top. I like the little tiny river stones. I think they're really pretty. You can add those as a dressing, if you will, on top of the sand. Just add more sand. That's clearly the issue. And Thomas Hines is on his 4th mug. There's my mug. My mug on a mug. You can get one of these, by the way. If you go over to God. I don't even believe it. What does P stand for? Wait, the brain is called PayPal. If you go over to PayPal, you can fatherfish at fatherfish.net on PayPal. For $25, I'll send you a mug, and it'll be with free shipping. So very welcome to do that. I do have a few left, and I can get more if I need them. So anybody would like a mug, please feel free to send me $25 on PayPal, and I will ship one right out to you. Top middle brace on tank. Oh boy, here we go. Raven Thomas. Any tips on replacing top middle brace on tank? Yeah, there are a couple of ways to do it. If it's not a fancy situation, in other words, if it's a fish room, and you don't care how it looks, furniture clamps work extremely well. You can brace it with a little piece of wood, a couple inches wide on each end, so you don't have those metal tabs grinding into the frame. And you can tighten it down to the level where it's even. That's the simplest and the most effective way to do it. It's not something you want in your living room. If that's the issue, then you've got another problem. There are ways to be able to buy new frames. I used to keep them in stock in the shop for just that reason. It can be tricky getting them off. You can try super glue or any of the other cements that seal plastics. It doesn't always work. You can make a frame made out of wood or metal. I've seen both. A piece of 1 inch wide metal bent at the edges and pushed down over there. That works effectively. Again, it's not particularly pretty, but it does work. The glue tends not to work. They tend to give out. So those are kind of 3 methods for dealing with that. I really like the furniture clamps, frankly. And if you do it right, it's not all that visible. If you got, it may kind of force you to put some sort of canopy on your tank. A canopy will work if it's braced well. It'll hold it together if it itself doesn't buckle. ADHD, hello, nice to see you. Teespring. No, I don't get my cups from Teespring. I do have a Teespring account. And I do a couple of different T-shirts there. One of which is the Father Fish, not this one. One of which is the Father Fish shirt. You can get that on Teespring. Maybe somebody can. Oh yeah, here's a thought. Michigan Tropical saying, if it's broke in the middle, you can drill some holes on each side of the brace, use super glue and zip ties, or even a piece of metal drilled through that's bolted in. If you're going to do that, use stainless. But you can also glue it. Just make a kind of a sandwich and glue that on. It's best to do that sort of stuff with the tank empty, so you're sure that you're getting it together without it being bowed. There's not much point in gluing it bowed. The booby fish. Total perception. What is this? Nonsense. Let's see. Oh, ADHD is saying we plumbed the main drain with a shrapnel drainer. Now I got to run pipe around to all the tanks. Well, that's really neat. She's doing a drain, which will allow her to siphon the water without having to load buckets. So that's pretty nice. The total perception. I was told about the booby fish. Is this a good pairing for a guppy tank? Don't know what a booby fish is. Oh dear. Thomas Hines saw a video over the weekend. Person was drilling a 180 gallon filled with water and fish. Marine, not a good outcome. Wow. I assume they meant they were drilling the cracked frame full of water, salt water, no less. Yeah, you can get yourself in deep water by screwing around too much with tanks, big tanks full of water. And Roman is suggesting to ADHD that she fence off the drainage hole so she doesn't fall in. Tank failure, yeah, right. No open holes, it's the pipe. Yeah, that's exactly how I did mine. That's interesting. A pipe in the wall. That's precisely how I did mine. Now, I never used it because I had my system set up with overflow and automatic overflow. Now, she's drilling all her tanks, so really it would be a very simple matter for you to be able to do that overflow. If you want some ideas, give me a call one day and we'll get together on it. I can explain some ways you can do that using the overflows. That makes them automatic. Let's see. Doobie-doo. Oh. I actually had a waste pipe with a cap in it, and I was able to open the cap and siphon water into it. That or pump water in it. I even used it that way. I pump from lower tanks like that, so I pump water out into a waistline. "3D printing overflow boxes with their 3D printers." Wow. 3D printing. Oh, how cool is that? Printing overflow boxes with their 3D printers. Very clever. Very, very clever. There's a pipe design I developed. Let me see if I can explain this to you. PVC pipe. You have a pipe going into the tank, comes out, goes down, across, and up. Now, when it comes up, you put a T on top of that with one end, with an open end up, and then the part of the T that's going in this direction, attach a pipe and go down to your sump. Then seal it, get a siphon started from this water coming out of the tank into the bottom and back up. Level it so that the bottom of that T, that open T, is at the level that you want the water. Then you can add water in and it'll automatically overflow. It's a neat way to do an overflow without the box and without drilling the tank. And it works pretty well. There is the downside, as there is to everything. Whereas the downside is the pipe getting clogged. I used strainers, plastic sleeve kind of thing that's slotted to be able to prevent that. And that worked pretty well. Also, you can defeat it by having more water going in that can easily flow out. But it's not the sort of thing you want to have in your living room, but it works brilliantly in the fish room, so long as you have a concrete floor in your fish room. That is pretty cool, though, Michigan, making overflow boxes with 3D printers. Very, very clever. PVC pipe, Legos for adults. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Michigan had some made like that now. It's pretty clever. We came up with that about 25 years ago, after a number of iterations that were a lot more complicated. And that became a simplified solution. And here's something funny about it. I had an old engineer come in once, and they looked at that and said, "Wow, I haven't seen that in 50 years. I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "That's the way we used to be able to maintain the water level in steam systems back in the 1800s. So it was a lost trick, a lost technology that we recreated for the fish tank, but nothing new under the sun. I thought that was fascinating. It took us so long to figure that out. And here he said, well, that's been around for 200 years. Amazing. Legos for adults. Yeah, I love it. World's smallest fish room. Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see you. Yeah, Thomas is saying, I use PVC pipes to make parrot play stands, plumbing projects, miscellaneous stands. It is versatile, amazingly versatile stuff. 4 days to print two. Oh, wow. Well, that's pretty impressive. Have you got any pictures up? Let me post the Discord link. Someone come over to Discord and show us what you're doing. That sounds really interesting to me. You see, we've got this. I'll post the Discord link here in a second. Got to get it open. I normally have it open. Let's see, no, who's there? RJ. RJ and I have an ongoing conversation on Discord. Let's see, here is the link. I'm going to get back over here and post the link. So there we go. Follow that link and post some pictures of what you're doing. That sounds really exciting. Mermaids, of course, have a lot of hobbies, and the PVC pipes are great for making staffs and other fun things in my costume hobby. Well, there you go. That'll be fun, Michigan Tropicals. Yeah, it'd be real interesting to see what you're doing. In fact, we have a channel there on equipment. That'd be a good place to post it. Once you figure it all out. Somebody will be there to help you. See if anybody's new yet. No, not yet. See what RJ's talking about. I've been having an interesting conversation with RJ over on Discord about systems that create oxygen in the substrate, measurable oxygen that drops to zero at night. Obviously, it's because there's microfauna of various types growing in the substrate in the top layers that's creating oxygen, doing photosynthesis, presumably. That would be various kinds of algae in the substrate that go down. It's still shallow enough that light can penetrate, so maybe a quarter of an inch or so. World's smallest fish room. How small is your fish room? World's smallest fish room. That looks interesting. We did talking about PVC, when we were building out the shop, we did, Lord knows how many feet of PVC. Certainly 1,000 feet, probably more, because there were triple pipes running across every tank. So a 15-foot rack was 45, double is 90. So that was 90 feet just to cover the tanks, and then going back to whatever the source was. We had our air lines. Air was in PVC, water delivery, and the return. So those were the three main pipes going to every system, to every tank. And then the downspouts, the overflows, and the returns. So we a lot of PVC and a lot of connections. We were doing PVC workshops for a while there. It was just very, very interesting. Papa Shrimp, breeding clown killies, started pulling the frog. I don't think the parents are eating them. Could it be the bigger siblings? Yeah, I would say so. Well, it's such a wonderful fish to breed. Are you going to try to ship them out, Papa Shrimp? Because I would love to be able to get some. And little ones are going to ship better than big ones. So you could ship the babies. Roman also has clown killies. Just put them in a tank by themselves with some cover, some floating plants. Your tanks are amazingly effective for killies because they're a forager, and they will love all of the natural food web in the tank. The parents will spawn and you'll get babies, but as Papa Shrimp is saying, you generally need to pull the babies and grow them out in a separate tank. The first generation will be okay. Second generation, you'll start losing babies. I'm going to show this clown killie. It's such a neat little fish. They only get about 1.5 to 2 inches. They don't get big. Let me see if I can bring one up here. Look at this. Aren't they stunning? Tiny little fish. Beautiful little fish. Top one's female, of course. Bottom one's male. And they're small. They're like, inch and a half tops. Pretty fish. Papa Shrimp saying, yeah, the fry are tiny. They are. Very, very tough. They're like bettas. Betta babies. Very tiny fish. In fact, when I breed bettas, I never see the babies in the first week. My eyes just aren't good enough. Once they've been feeding for a while, and it's gotten up to the point where they're 32nd of an inch long, grow to that level, then I begin to see them. Listening in while waking up, Foxy. Nice to see you, Roxy. Good to have you here. Yeah, me too. I'm trying. Neat little fish. I love. I haven't seen them in years. It's been a long time that I've been able to get them. The wholesalers, well, since COVID, everything is gone. The chains that were developed, supply chains, the people breeding fish and moving them through the system, all of that went away. And we're kind of starting from scratch. And unfortunately, the corporate world has taken a different tack. They're now no longer interested. This is the big guys, the big wholesalers, are in the main no longer interested in supplying mom and pop shops. They're locked into the big box stores because they get a routine sale every week of a grand, $2,000, big substantial sales rather than a few $100s. So they've shifted to maintaining a smaller variety base, less quality, move them through faster and just crank it out. It's devastating to the industry and has really ruined the major suppliers as suppliers of quality, rare and unusual fish. Oh, they'll get a few in, but not like they used to. We didn't like that anymore. So what's happening now is we've got a whole new new group of people developing import businesses that operate on a much smaller level and on a much more personal level. So they'll be importing and retailing, not going through the wholesale end of it, just selling directly to the consumer. And that's been augmented by things like YouTube that create market for that kind of industry. As does Facebook, as does eBay, and of course Aquabid. So it's changing, and it's changing in ways that I think are really going to be positive. What remains, however, is for the Papa Fishes of the world to find ways to get their product as it's coming along out to that same population, either into local mom and pop shops, through local clubs, to people locally, and then to be able to ship. Shipping is not a big deal. Let me tell you something about shipping. I'm shipping right now native fish. Now, I'm in Southwest Florida, so these fish can't tolerate freezing weather, but they can tolerate weather down into the 50s and into the 40s even. They can tolerate cold weather for short periods of time. I'm shipping about 5 different species, but 2 in particular, the Ellisoma, pygmy sunfish, and the cyprinoid, which is the pupfish. In both cases, I have shipped them in colonies of 5 in a quarter box bag in a little box like that, 10-inch box, to Seattle primarily. 5 days in the bag. 5 days. Didn't have a loss. Everyone made it. These fish are amazing. They're able to hold up for day after day after day after day in the dark, in just enough water that slows their metabolism down, so that I'm moving around much. They're just kind of hanging there waiting for the sun to come up. But they hold up. They really do. It takes a lot of pressure off of the whole business of shipping. Now, you can't overload the bag, and I never do. If you do that, then you really need to be shipping overnight. But I ship priority, and rarely do I have a problem. Oh, let's see, Michigan, are you there? Let me, I'm going to get over and give you permission right now. I am. Meet and greet. Michigan Tropicals. You are, let's see, we'll make you a barracuda. We'll give you a leg up. There you go. You may now post, Michigan. Timmy, is Timmy? Yes, Timmy's good. Thomas Hines. Smallest fry I ever saw was a pencil fish fry. Never seen them. It's a tiny fish, so I expect you're right. Some of these fish are amazingly small as babies. Amazingly small. Puppet shrimp was hard to find for a while. Started trying to breed them, getting it down now. Oh, very nice. Took a while to train my eyes to see the fry. I'll bet you. I'll bet you. Yeah, that's a delightful fish. And one you can keep in a very small container. They are jumpers, however, so you need to keep a lid on it or keep the water level down. I would lid them just because they can be pretty athletic jumpers. Misfit. What's sad is most people don't physically see how that is happening. Because you're right, it is starting the entire hop. I know. I've been on a tear for a while now about the industry because it's become so mercenary and so focused on finding ways to create markets that are not beneficial to the hobbyists, to the fish, to supply chain, to much of anything other than the pockets of the people. Here's one. I went into a shop. I'm not going to mention the name. Went into a shop not long ago. They've been around now for about 2 years. Long enough to be able to build out and have decent stock. There were 2 bays. That was a strip mall. 2 bays in a strip mall. One bay was solid with new product. Mostly large tanks. Tanks from the smallest was about 75. The biggest was about 200. So that was the range. Set up for salter fresh with substantial equipment involved so that each one of these setup, I think the basic setup was $1,000. That was for 65 with a light stand, filter, canister, whatever else, $1,000. And it went up from there. That was half of the shop. There were half a dozen at least of these. A few fish tanks, not many. There was a little pool in there. There was a little bit of salt water, not much. I was surprised how little, because they promote themselves as a saltwater shop, but didn't have more than 3 or 4 fish. No corals to speak of, which really surprised me. And the other side was down the middle row with tanks on each wall. One row, nothing but Malawi cichlids. 50 tanks, Malawi cichlids in every one. There might have been a few larger Tanganyikas. Nothing small, nothing interesting, nothing exciting at all. On the other side, primarily tetras, a few angel type cichlids. That was it. That's the shop. They had some nice pieces of Mopani and some nice dragon rock. Good quality stuff. Prices were not too bad. They had a big piece of Mopani, really pretty piece for $55. I offered them 40 for it, and they threw me out of the shop. So, talk about mercenary. Now that's, here you go. Now, nothing bad to say about these guys except that they're not in the business of doing fish. They're in the business of selling systems. That's what they do. That's how they make their money. That's what's wrong with the industry. It's all about making money. It's all about selling equipment, supplies, dry goods, all of that stuff. And 90% of it is unnecessary. That's why the industry refuses to promote the deep substrate, because the deep substrate obviates the necessity of all of that stuff. It creates a natural environment without filtration. You do need lights, but you can do pretty inexpensive lights without filtration, without chemicals, without any supplements, without even food or very much of it, without all of the specialized filtration and water quality equipment. All of that stuff is out the window. So the industry doesn't like natural aquariums because natural aquariums don't depend on their ability to sell you equipment that you really don't need to keep fish. Now I know there are purists out there, particularly on the saltwater side, who swear by their $10,000 worth of equipment for their 55-gallon saltwater tank, probably a 70-gallon truthfully. But I will challenge them. I will challenge them to do a deep substrate saltwater tank that will be more stable, last longer with less maintenance and less trouble than whatever it is they're doing. Mermaid's Chorus. Let's see. Somebody knocking this. Let's see if I can kill him. I want to kill him. How do I kill him? And put him in timeout. I don't know who this is. Thank you, Papa Shred. I should be able to get rid of them, but I don't seem to be able to. Go to channel report. Let's report them. That'll do. Okay. We reported them. Thank you. But Reuben is giving them back as good as he got. Good for you, Reuben. Mermaid's Chorus. Let's see. Let me back up a little. Oh, yeah. I got plenty of pygmy sunfish. In fact, I got a vat with 50 of them. They're all wild caught. So they're real nice. They're the Ellisoma everglades. Talking about temperature. All right, let me jump down. Mermaid's Chorus. She used to work at PetSmart. Looking back at it now, yikes. The workers at mine were awesome and loving, but there was still the lovely situation that was corporate. Yeah, I know what you mean. How are your saltwater tanks doing? Alex. Have I cleaned the algae? Sort of. So I've been putting natives in. This one's got pretty good algae, macroalgae growing in it. Clowns are doing well. These are just some local little natives, and then here's this one is crashed a couple of weeks ago. So there's not much going on in there. Some of the macros coming back. Took some losses in there. Don't know what happened. What's interesting is that's the tank that had the old substrate in it. You can see in the bottom it's about 2 to 3 inches deeper than the other one. This has all new saltwater substrate. That had substrate from the original freshwater tank. And I did that deliberately to see what the effect would be. I don't know that it's related to the crash, but it certainly could be. Everything else, the pumps have been functioning and so forth. So anyway, nothing particularly spectacular. That's got a lot of coral growing in it, polyps, star polyps. And they're doing pretty well. So I've got a 75 set up at a friend's house. We'll get some videos of that and post them. That's kind of neat. Bunny Viper. Hello, Bunny. The tour of your fish room with Jess. Who's he talking to? Papa. Huh. Oh my. Bunny Viper, listen to this. This is great. Papa, hi. Absolutely love the tour of your fish room with Jess. Your tanks are incredibly beautiful. Your mind is lovely. I've shared that vid with my mother because she was stressed out. Perfect. What a lovely commentary. Thank you so much, Bunny. And I know Papa appreciates it. Alex Jones asking about saltwater. Let's see. Asaya, surprised by the clown killie fry. Thought I lost all my clouds, then found 2 survived. They're almost half an inch down. That's Asaya. Nice. Oh, Bunny Vapor had not thought about building play stands out of PVC for her gray. She is an African gray. What a great bird. Amazing birds. Asaya, brand new nanoscape. I'll tinker a lot and it'll change. But here's the initial setup, dirted plant, 6-gallon water box. We can show this. Let's see. Here we go. Got it on Instagram. Very nice. Look at this. Very cool. Pretty tank. So nanoscape, 6-gallon water box. It'll change a bit, still tinkering. Ghostwood, trident, fern, val, sword, and UPS. Moss, stone, pebble, planted, dirted, dust and dirt mix in the mesh bags. Cap with sand, fine gravel mix. 5 fish deep substrate style with innovative tweaks inspired by MD. And this is Chuck. Hey, Chuck.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not bad. I just wanted to let you know I just called both there. My name's real nice. But you have to fill out the big loan form here to apply for the speaker.
You're kidding.
Well, no, I just spent about a half hour filling it out.
Honest to God.
Yeah. And, she said it's at least 2 to 3 months.
Huh. Well, that's okay.
Yeah, it is. So best we can hope for would be much for probably, well, maybe February.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But then I got to the bottom here. And it says, in order for staff to take time for research duties, we request a $350 honorarium.
Oh, you're kidding.
And it goes to the lab. It doesn't go to the person, you know. It doesn't go to the
Yeah. Honest to God.
So I put a note in here and I said no, and I said, you know, we're small casual. We usually pay like a month. So
Yeah,
take it
yeah.
back there later, you know.
Yeah,
That's
really?
really excessive.
I think so. I think so.
Outlandish, but you know, I can see it if they got a major chamber of commerce or something. I don't want to get
Wow. Amazing. Yeah.
they're
Listen. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I got you. Let me get hold of Andy and I'll call you back. And we'll see if we can get a day together to go over to the facility and see if we can work on the equipment.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm online right now. In fact, you're live with about 50 people.
Okay, all right, I'll let you go.
That's great. Well, thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Gotta go out, but just leave a message.
Will do.
Or, you know, I'll be out after about 11.
Okay. Thank you, Chuck.
All right. See ya.
Chuck is a member of our board at Venice Aquarium Society. He's an angel breeder. He's a biologist by profession. Worked for the state for years, now retired. Magnificent angels. And it's a good example of how the local shop can support a local hobbyist. I never got angels from anybody but him. But he had a good variety, so I always had a lot of a variety of size and type. So listen, it's 10:20 and we're walking all over Jesse here. We need to go. I will be back Wednesday. See you all then. Love you.